All right, so here's a controversial topic. Flat Earth, spherical globe Earth, toroidal Earth, which is it, what's going on, that type of thing. So first of all, this is what I'm going to say to everybody watching this. Those of you watching this, this topic is very controversial for a lot of people. People can get very defensive about it, aggressive about it. Like I've seen people fight back and forth on it. This video is not have that intention at all. This is a video to help you have a different perspective and see things a little differently and see things more the way I see them. My truth is not necessarily the truth of others and their realities. We all live in different realities. The reality you wish to live in is the one you are creating and that sort of thing. So, but what is flat Earth? What is the Earth to me is what I will say. And please watch the whole video. I have longer videos too about this topic in other sections. So just a quick primer of flat Earth. There's a concept that the Earth is completely flat. It has edges and nothing else to it in there. The thing with this idea is that I have seen, and this is part of the confusion, I have seen many different explanations of what that actually is, what that actually means to people, flat Earth. It doesn't seem to have a nailed down, firm concept that everybody agrees on. Some people say we're in a dome, some people say it's just flat Earth, it's all kinds of stuff. But that's the basic concept. Now, spherical global Earth is just that the Earth is a globe sphere, like we've been shown on TV and all these things in science classes, and that's pretty standard. I think everybody understands that. The toroidal Earth is the one where it's more like a donut shape, like it's if you took a globe and kind of squished it a little bit, and then there's a hole in the center. And there's a hole in the center going down from North Pole to South Pole, and then the energy flows kind of like spins in and out of the hole. You might say it flows in an infinity symbol, however that works. I don't understand the energy of it, but I always see pictures of it, and they have it surrounded by energy because of how the magnetic fields and stuff would work. Those are the three concepts that I know of the most. Now, my opinion of them is it doesn't matter. It does not matter if it's a sphere, if it's a flat Earth, if it's toroidal. It does not matter if it's a diamond. I saw somebody try to describe it as a multi-dimensional, like 100-side faceted diamondy thing that I could not wrap my brain around as some physicist. And the point is, it does not matter because these topics actually breed division. They breed division to where they take people away from accepting oneness and what actually affects their reality. Whether the Earth is flat, whether it is a sphere, whether it is toroidal, does not affect the reality of 99.9999999% of people living on this world. It is one of those things that people will argue over and fight over, and just there's a lot of division around this topic, especially when people wake up, because when they wake up, for some reason, it's one of those that like people start waking up and boom, this topic is right in their face. Which one is it? Choose your side. And then you have this issue of, it's kind of like evolution versus creation, where those of you who've woken up and started talking to galactics and all of this, there's an understanding that it's actually both. There's evolution and there is creation. There's not one or the other, but you have people who are evolution only, science, creation only, religion, and they fight against each other. They have bred division through these topics, which is a distraction, which is against oneness, which is meant to keep us in a low vibration and in separation from each other. Flat Earth and the spherical, toroidal, whichever one you want to use, those are the same thing, doing the same thing, taking something that people aren't arguing as much as evolution and creation as much anymore. Now it's okay, give them something else. And I've always felt flat Earth, the shape of the Earth, is one of those that they're trying to give. So then you have people fighting over what is it? And then my question is always, when clients come, I have clients come that talk to me about this, and they'll be like, hey, what is it? And I go, how does it affect your reality? Does it matter? And it completely eliminates any of the animosity, any of the confusion, the fear. There's a lot of fear through flat earth tactics and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, the flat earth community, there's a lot of fear stuff that goes on. And just each community has their people in them that kind of like belittle the other one and get aggressive with each other and those types of things, because you essentially have science versus non-science. And the reason I say that is I know a lot of flat earthers will say, oh, there's science behind flat earth. I've looked into flat earth stuff before. Personally, I have yet to see anything that proves the earth is flat from a three-dimensional standpoint. I have a background with some science stuff. I'm not a physicist. I'm not anything of that nature. I also know that a lot of the explanation is, well, I go up into a plane and it looks flat. And actually, to see the curvature of the earth, for those of you who don't understand this, you have to go far higher than a plane. You have to go way, way, way higher than any plane can go to see the actual curvature, because the distance is so massive. And so that concept never has worked with me. And some of the other proofs that they give, just they haven't made sense, type of thing. So I mean, if anybody out there does have proof, my whole thing has always been, shoot a camera into the sky and take a picture. We can send satellites into the sky. We can send rockets. When I was a kid, high schools were sending rockets into space by building them from like stuff from Lowe's and Home Depot and that. Sending them high enough to take pictures of the Earth, not like into orbit, but high enough to take pictures in that. And that's always been my thing. Like, just send a ship, send a rocket, somebody privatize it, take a picture, show us a picture, because all the pictures we have, even from private organizations, are all round. So now here's the thing, it could be flat. I've had beings come to me, and I've had a multitude of different beings. I've had 3D beings come to me, and they kind of go, flat? That is not a flat world. That is a round spherical world, just like our worlds. They're separated with distance and space, and there are planetary systems and stars and all that is accurate from a 3D perspective. I've had other beings come and explain it as a human plane, human plane of existence, using the word plane, Plane, like flat plane of existence, that's how they experience it. And these beings tend to be higher energy beings. I've also had beings who live on ships that look like worlds. So if you've seen some of the movies where there's ships in space and they've actually just built a ship and it's flat, and it's just like a big flat circle, and there's a world, there's water, there's trees, there's life, and there's a dome. The idea of flat earth and the dome, there's a dome of energy, or an actual technological dome protecting the ship, keeping the atmosphere inside. I've seen that before. There are also this idea of realities. There are so many different universes, realities, forms of experience, that flat earth could actually be a thing in one of those. Or what I've always felt in my experience in the reality I live in with the people I talk to, is that they are bringing in, going, you have two things happening. Some of them are remembering lives as those different beings on a ship that looked like a world that was flat, and going, how can this world be flat? We just came from a world that was on a flat, but not recognizing they were on a ship. Or on actual flat worlds. There probably are formed somewhere flat worlds in the universe. Not everything is a circle or a ball. So past life memory type things. The other thing is this idea of team mentality. A lot of people right now are waking up and they're just picking sides. They're picking sides. They're going, well, I'm going to pick this side because, you know, they just want to be on a team. They want to feel included. They want to feel like they feel like this might be the right information for them. So they're just, rather than looking at the whole scope and observing, pulling yourself out and observing, a lot of people end up following the information of others and not making up their minds for themselves and looking into things further for themselves about what is the reality you exist in, and what does it, with these big topics, why does it matter, and is it breeding division? That's the biggest thing. Are you breeding division? Because if you're breeding division, then it is not oneness. It is not of God, essentially. Everything is unity, oneness. You know, you can all have your individual opinions and all that, but it's not about dividing people over topics. That's the biggest thing to keep in mind when it comes to these things like flat earth versus the others. So that's my little primer. I believe I have a much longer video somewhere in my library. But for those of you watching, if you made it this far, thank you. Grateful for each and every one of you. You can support these videos on my website, awakenwithwillow.com, with spirit art readings, divine counsel transmissions, social media at Awaken with Willow, where I post light codes and that sort of thing. So thank you for watching. Love you all.